So I just came back from my first Abraham Hicks workshop, and I want to tell you what messages I received, what guidance I can share, and how it's going to help you. And it is 11:33 on my clock, by the way. So for my birthday, I want to share kind of the story of how I even got to this workshop. So I was randomly one morning talking to my friend about, I think they were talking about like Bashar or something like that. And I was like, oh, Bashar. I was like, blah, blah, blah. Bashar's great. I was like, but have you ever heard about Abraham Hicks? And they were like, no. Literally 2 seconds later, I guess they like Googled or YouTubed some videos, and it led us down like deciding to watch like a whole interview with her and Wayne Dyer. And since that day, and that was like a couple weeks ago, so since that day, there has been nothing but an abundance of flow and um, positive emotion. And so they were like, oh, what do you want to do for your birthday? Blah, blah, blah. I was going to do one thing for my birthday. And then after they were introduced to Abraham Hicks, they decided to follow their intuitive nudges, stay in a high vibration, a high flying disc, right? And just happened to look up dates for her workshops. And one of her workshops happened to be on the 16th, which is my birthday. And I was like, wow, how aligned. They presented it to me, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, let's do it. Like, I felt it in my gut to just be like, yes, like, I can do anything else. But as she's getting older, I wanted to be able to see her because she's been such an impactful guidance system to me on my spiritual journey. So now, before that happened, what led them to looking up the workshops was we were out at dinner and we decided to walk intuitively again, random, out of nowhere. They were like, oh, let's go to Barnes and Noble. Go to Barnes and Noble, looking at books. And as I'm looking at books, I'm looking for this book so hard, but I couldn't find it. And I'm like, I know I'm in the right spot. I know I am. I know I am. And I hear, I'm like crouching down, like looking at the bottom row of the books. And I'm like, I hear spirit say to me, you're getting warmer. And I just kind of like went like this, and I saw this book, right? Didn't see this book, but I saw this book. And I grabbed it. It was the only one on the shelf. I grabbed it and I ran over to my friend and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And just like shared what happened. I was like, I was literally just intuitively led to this book. Like, how crazy is that? Um, and then as I went back to show them like where the book was, then I found this one, which is so funny because it's like when you're looking for something so much, um, until you like let it go, it won't like come to you. So I thought that was amazing that I got to find this book, which then led us to the workshop, which is what I want this video to be about. So if you haven't read this book, if you don't even know who Abraham Hicks is, please, 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 Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, which is like a large collective being of knowledge, her spirit guides. Please, 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 especially if you're on your spiritual journey, like this is something, not the book itself, but just her teachings is something that I have followed for the last 7 years on my journey. So definitely check this book, and I'm gonna link it here to this video so that you can access it really, really quickly and easily. So yeah. Okay, so while I was at the workshop, leading up to the workshop, I had like these intuitive like imagination games, I like to call them. It's like where my intuition creates like a scene in my imagination and I just kind of flow with it, not for it to definitely manifest, but sometimes it's just for me to be in the frequency that I need to be in. And so I didn't think I was going to get called up and be in the hot seat, but I knew that there was a purpose and an intention for me to be there. Um, Only reason I felt like I wasn't going to get called is because every time I've tried to go to like a psychic, a reader, or anything like that, I'm not allowed. Like they're closed or it just doesn't happen. And I ended up finding out that that was because like I had to unlock my own spiritual gifts without being told. And there's some reason, some purpose. God doesn't want anybody kind of tapping into my energy. So that's besides the point there. But um, every single person that went into the hot seat, I was kind of like, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. And then the questions I wanted to ask, I didn't even have. Like, I literally wrote in my journal, I was like, what to ask Abraham, and it was blank. And then today I had no questions but received the guidance and confirmation. So for me, it was more so I just wanted to converse with that energy and like using my channel ability to like, I don't know. That's really what all that I wanted. But what I got was the confirmation I needed to be able to move forward with my spiritual gifts in a much larger way. Prior to this workshop, I was, having these conversations with God about like, okay, if this is my calling and this is what you're wanting me to do, like make it make sense financially because there's like a feeling of guilt in using my gifts to make money. So, ooh, confirmation burp. So, what I learned and what I got from that, the last person that went into the hot seat shared that he has psychic abilities as well. Um, and it was really just the first part where she was saying, like, essentially, it was like there were the two things that stood out the most for me from this workshop was the fact that so many people are looking for guidance, and it kind of gave me the same feeling of like going to church. Like a lot of people go to church to receive guidance, to receive the voice of God, to receive confirmation, to get answers, to get the message, to get the word. This definitely reminded me of that. So that was huge because although I don't reside in a church or work in a church, I do believe that the gifts and abilities that God has blessed me with is for the church, right? Like it is for us as a collective. It is, you don't have to go to one building, to one being to receive messages, right? And then the other thing was, which just kind of confirmed the behavior that I've had, which is like feeling the fear and moving forward anyways, because this is exciting to me. I love helping people, and there's been so much momentum for me moving forward. But it's like I've been in the book, it talks about the art of allowing, and essentially the art of allowing is being in the receiving mode and allowing your abundance and your blessings to come to you because you're not being resistant and pushing them away through your emotions, your feelings, and your thoughts and behaviors and habits and energy. So the confirmation I received through the last person that was in the hot seat was um, like I don't need to do things out of validation or like seeking validation from other people. The validation and the confirmation resides in the way that I feel when I'm doing it. So when I feel great and I feel excited and I feel like on fire and I feel like the ball is just rolling in terms of like it's like a snowball effect of abundance after abundance after abundance and just like good things happening, that energy is what I need to focus on and just keep moving forward. Like, I don't need all of my family to accept this feeling. I don't need, the person I'm dating to accept this feeling. I just need to be internally aware of how I feel so that the acceptance flows. Okay. Again, let me know if that resonates with you. Let me know if that, like, if you got any takeaways from that. And again, if you are interested in this book, please, please, please click the link below. And if you've already read this book, definitely like this video because it's so, so, so beautiful. And I have my $1,000,000 bookmark. So if you're watching this, you're probably attracting lots of money